morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Dr. Soul Brother here, coming at you again with some remedies to help cure your ills. I'm not going to be long, but I'm going to get to the point here. There's some things that have been troubling me, and I want to share that and get some feedback. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and be sure to comment. I would love to see what folk have to say. I want to talk about this thing that's been going around lately that didn't seem to go around before, but it's been going around and it's been bothering me. And that is, um, are Africans and Caribbean people black? Are Africans and Caribbean people black? Um, Let me say this to my uh, Black American brothers and sisters first, and then I'm going to address the black family in the diaspora. First of all, black folk in these United States, people of African descent, born and raised here, do not have a monopoly on the black identity. Let me be clear on that. Okay. Um, this thing about our Africans and Caribbean people black is um, really ridiculous. Um, but I will say this: one of the things, and this is where I'm going to address the black family in the diaspora, the Africans and the Caribbeans. Uh, some of y'all have contributed to this. Here's what I mean: walk around looking at and talking um, to Black Americans saying, "Well, I'm Ghanaian, or I'm Nigerian, or I'm Ethiopian, or Congolese, or whatever African country you're from." You identify as that and not as being black is problematic. When you talk about being a Ghanaian or a Nigerian or any other part of Africa, you're identifying by nationality. Your nationality does not determine your racial identity. Okay? Your racial identity is black, period. Just like here in the United States. That would be like me saying, well, I'm not black, I'm an American. You heard what I said? I'm going to say it again. Let me repeat that. I'm not black, I'm an American. See, that looks and sounds ridiculous. Or somebody saying, um, I'm not black, I'm a Trinidadian. Or I'm not black, I'm a Jamaican. I'm not black, I'm Haitian. I'm not black, I'm fill in the blanks. Well, here's the deal. As one Jamaican woman, um, Professor Erna Broderick said that in 1967 she was in Washington State, and it was they called it riots. More accurate term would be rebellion took place, and a young black brother from the U.S. told her, "Sister, they don't ask you to speak before they shoot." Now think about that. What that means is, um, all they see is a black face. So you can talk about you Jamaican, Haitian, Barbadian, Trinidadian, Bahamian, Ghanaian, um, Nigerian, Congolese, etc. Fact of the matter is, you're black. But what ends up happening is some of you who are African and Caribbean have contributed to this. Um, you're busy trying to distance yourself from Black Americans. And here's the thing: let me put some of y'all to school for a second, just in case some of y'all don't know this history. Um, Way back in the day, uh, you had Africans, no matter what part of Africa they were from, as well as Caribbean black folk, be they from Anglophone Caribbean or um, Francophone Caribbean. They were embracing their blackness, and it's reflected in some of the lyrical content and titles of songs that were recorded. For example, let's just look at a place like Jamaica. Um, a recording artist by the name of Marcia Griffiths and another recording artist named Bob Andy. Bob Andy and Marcia Griffiths did their rendition, I believe 1970, their rendition of Nina Simone's song To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. That was their rendition. If you listen to certain songs by the great Bob Marley, he made reference to his black identity or as black people. Same thing with a group called the Heptones. Black is black. Okay. The Heptones did their rendition of the Temptations' 1969 song "Message to a Black Man." Um, the Heptones, same group, did their rendition of Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions, um, "Choice of Color." Ken Booth did his rendition of Syl Johnson, "Is It Because I'm Black?" I could go on, but here's my point. My point is, you don't do renditions of songs like that or your own original songs unless you are black and you identify as such. Okay. And this notion that they have never, be it Africans or Caribbeans, have never identified as black is fundamentally false. We have receipts to prove this. Okay. So, what I would say to our African and um, Caribbean brothers and sisters, you need to quit this not identifying as black as a way to distance yourself from black Americans in this country. And black Americans, you need to stop buying into this notion that these people, be they African or Caribbean, are not black. That is just insane. It really is, and it needs to end. Um, Marcus Garvey identified as a black man who was from Jamaica. In fact, there was a man in history, same place in Jamaica, prior to him in an 1865 era by the name of Paul Bogle. And what was his famous cry? Cleave to the black. That was his cry was cleave to the black. Now again, this is a black man who identified as black. And remember now, during Mr. Garvey's time, Edward Blyden and other folk there, you were Negro. Okay, so they made the transition from Negro to black, just to how black people in America made the transition from Negro slash colored to black during the 1960s. So this is what was happening. And so for you folks, be you African or Caribbean, to try to distance yourself from blackness, don't think, yeah, blackness as well as trying to distance yourself from black Americans. Um, don't think that we don't see you trying to curry favor with white folks with this. That's exactly what you're doing. And do not listen to people like Coleman Hughes and what's that other uh, Desi Ray, I think is her name, this Jamaican woman who says she's black, but she's not black. She's denying her blackness. Who, when you take one quick look at her and you can see she's black. This is, I mean, dark skin, woolly hair, etc. And you're not black, sister, please. I mean, you don't look like what's her name? Somebody like Cindy Breakspear or somebody like that. You are undeniably black. If you didn't open your mouth, or some person wouldn't necessarily know that you were not from here. But that kind of craziness needs to come to an end. And it's wrong. It's wrong as days long. And lastly, let's not forget Stephen Biko, who was a freedom fighter in South Africa. He identified as black. Now, undoubtedly, this thing with the black identity and calling yourself black, they got from here. But that's okay because guess what? It helped to change the paradigm in a positive way to the point where you had those people who were very light skinned, maybe with two black parents, or those who were of mixed race parentage, who began to identify themselves as black. Bob Marley was one of them. That's a whole another show that I plan to deal with. Uh, sooner than later. But I just wanted to get this in that let's be clear. Whether we're from Africa, different parts of Africa, because remember, Africa is a continent, not a country. No what part of Africa you from, what part of the Caribbean you are from, whether you are Anglophone Caribbean, meaning where they speak English, or Francophone, meaning where they speak French, uh, you are black. If you are of African descent, you are black, period. And I don't care if you're from Brazil, Guyana, um, uh, the U.S. Virgin Islands, etc. That's that's who and what you are. That is your um, permanent uh, uniform. Okay, so we need to be real clear on that. So I would urge black folk throughout the diaspora to kill that noise. Those foreign and domestic. So again, to you Africans and Caribbeans, you all need to kill that noise. And the black folks over here on the U.S. side who want to give pushback and deny them of their racial identity, you're out of line. You are totally out of line, and that needs to end. So with that, I'm going to end my show. I said I wasn't going to be long, but I felt it necessary to delve into that. So if anybody has any doubt about what Brother Soul Brother is putting down, I would highly suggest that you go back and dig, research, and study this because I have the receipts. I should say we have the receipts for all of this. Again, this notion that they never identify, meaning African and Caribbean, never identified themselves as black is false. And if you are African or you are Caribbean and you suggest that um, historically you have never identified as black, you are a lie and the truth ain't in you. So again, click the subscribe button, hit the likes, comment section. And until the next time, God bless.